Alright guys, Triple F Firestorm here. Sporting a cold which has been building up for the last few days and has hit me quite hard the other day. As a result, my voice may not be so good, as you can probably tell. But anyway, I want to do a thoughts video on something, and hopefully my voice isn't going to give out. If it does, I apologise. But anyway, okay, basically this video is merely about my thoughts on a subject which for the last few months has been rampant on the news, rampant on the internet, and rampant in Parliament. Basically, gay marriage, or basically making gay marriage legal. Now, it seems to me like there's a hell of a lot of strong opinions on this. Now, there always will be strong opinions on such a thing as gay marriage. Me personally, I've got nothing against gay marriage. I mean, I've got friends which are gay. You know, I know gay people. I know bisexual people. You know, it doesn't bother me. People's lifestyles never really bothered me. You know, if people are gay, fine, they're gay. That's their lifestyle, and personally, that's their choice. And if someone who's gay wants to get married, fine. In my opinion, fine. Because marriage, really, to me, really, it's much more than just a traditional thing. It's also, nowadays especially, it's a legal binding contract in a way. If you get married to your partner, it's creating not only a legal binding contract, it makes like a weird thing to say, but what I'm trying to say is, if you're married, it provides you protection, you know, by legal rights, you know. So if something were to happen to you, you know that your legal partner would be able to, in a sense, look after your assets, for example. You know, they would be able to, they would have power of attorney, basically. So if you were in hospital in a coma, they would be able to make sure that your assets were looked after. You know, that is one of the key things about marriage. You know, all legal stuff, but I don't want to go into that. My point of this video is gay marriage, and I really think some of the things that have been said are really kind of stupid. Especially this particular article I've actually just read now. This is from UKIP, obviously the United Kingdom Independence Party. They're basically saying that this whole gay marriage could rip apart the Conservative Party. How? How the hell does a simple thing like allowing two gay men or two gay women to get married going to cause such a rift in Parliament, in the government? I don't think it should, and if it will do, then whoever rips away and decides to walk out is just stupid. You have to be aware that within the last 100 years, the amount of change that's happened within the UK is huge. Just think, about 50 years ago, 40, 50 years ago, women won the right to vote. That was a huge change, you know. And then about the same time, again maybe 30, 40 years ago, it was finally removed. The concept that if you were gay you could be put in prison, that was removed, and essentially it was no longer illegal, which was a stupid thing in the first place anyway. But within the last 100 years there's been so much change in the UK that this whole gay marriage thing will probably go through. Now, interestingly, I read an article probably a good couple of months ago, actually 6-7 months ago, that was on the net. I can't actually remember what site it was on. I think it was on a news site, I think. But anyway, it was a rather interesting article revealing that apparently, up until the 1700s, gay marriage was perfectly acceptable. In fact, churches performed gay marriage ceremonies, marriage ceremonies for gay couples. And apparently, according to this article, it was seen as an act of love. Two people in love committing together in a union of love. You know, this was discovered by a historical like a historical researcher who researched into religious history. And from what I gathered by this article, the church had nothing to say on this. They refused to make a comment. But at one point, gay marriage was perfectly fine. But then a shift in the way people saw things made it frowned upon. Probably made the whole concept of people being gay frowned upon. So really, things change around about the 1700s. But it needs not to. It doesn't need to change. The way I'm trying to say this is, I think people need to realise that I personally don't think there's anything wrong with gay marriage. I mean, at the end of the day, your opinion is your opinion. But some of the stuff I've read especially today, actually, because on the BBC News site regarding this, even saying how allowing gay marriage will change sex education in schools. Well, ironically, this is coming from some people I know who are gay, and they've said their opinions are that sex education in schools in a way does need to change, because it doesn't mention gay relationships. It only goes by the concepts of standard heterosexual or straight relationships, and as a result of that, you could almost say that maybe, sometimes maybe that makes some people who have feelings of romantic feelings towards the same sex, and that's not discussed in sex ed. Come on, in this modern day, it really should be. And there's this bizarre article rattling on about how most parents want straight children, and how the issue of sex ed discussing gay relationships is somehow going to result in an increase of gay children or something. So it's almost hinting that apparently, if gay relationships are discussed in sex ed, then all of a sudden children and young teenagers are going to suddenly think, oh well, I must be gay. I'm definitely gay. It doesn't work like that. Either you're gay or you're straight. I think it's that simple. You know, it's not something which, because it's discussed in sex ed, all of a sudden you think, well, could I be gay? You either are or you aren't, and you know or you don't, or you know that you are or you aren't. It's that simple. It might not be that simple, I don't know, but I'm personally going by what I think here. But at the end of the day, this gay marriage thing, as far as I'm concerned, I think it's about time that it should just be passed. Yeah, allow it. Because what's wrong with it? And I really doubt the government's going to split up over this. If they do, then a message to the government: you're all stupid. If you generally think you're going to have an argument and split up over this, over such a simple thing, you are ridiculously stupid. I'm not going on this point from a religious aspect. And the religious aspect of gay marriage and things, that's a completely different kettle of fish. What I want about here is a simple concept that just shouldn't be dragged out of proportion. If two gay people want to get married, let them get married. And really, I think the way things are going, it'll happen. Like I said, last century there's been a shitload of change in the UK, and you should just allow it. So yeah. Anyway, really, that's my 2 cents on the whole concept of gay marriage and what's happening at the moment. I'll have to go now because unfortunately my voice is starting to go. Hopefully this video has been reasonably good and you can hear me talking. Anyway guys, thanks for listening. It's Triple O Firestorm. Peace out.